Hi, I'm Grandpa Dave. If you liked what you heard on the first episode, stay tuned because the second episode is much better.
So, what were some of your fears as a child?
Are you kidding me? I had like 10,000 things I was afraid of. The number one thing was heights. Everything was too high. As you recall from the last time I talked to you, we talked about the bunk bed. Now that bunk bed was like 10 miles high. Like you could go up there in that bunk bed and you could touch the clouds. And if you tickled the clouds right, you could make it rain in the bedroom. That's scary stuff for me. But the scariest thing was stairs. Oh, I hated stairs. But the worst part about stairs was the porch behind our property or our home. On a good day when you went out the door from the kitchen, you could see the whole valley. It was so high. I remember one time my dad was bringing us out to go somewhere and an airplane come through and we had to duck. That was how high it was to me. But I was a short little kid, so everything's high. But if you want to talk scary stuff, let me tell you about monsters. I had a lot of monsters in my house. Oh yeah. I had a lot of monsters that beat the heaven out of me. Oh, they did. Let me tell you about the first monster. The door. Ooh, I got a chill thinking about that. So next to my bedroom was our bathroom. The bathroom was really small. I mean, your average closet was probably bigger in our bathroom. You could actually sit down to do your business, wash your hands, and if you're a really good contortionist, bath at the same time. Now, my sisters and all the family that ever seen that could agree with me on that point. But it wasn't the bathroom I'm talking about. The monster was the door. Now that door was evil. It was possessed. But it was patient. Very patient. Oh, it was so patient. It would wait till some innocent person went into the bathroom. Let me explain. It was an old door. An old lock. And when you went to the bathroom, it had a skeleton key inside. And if you didn't do it quite right, you were a prisoner forever in the bathroom. And the door had you. Oh yeah. The door. Oh, the door. Be careful of the door. Now there were many times that some innocent person would come to our house and visit and become a prisoner of the door. One in particular was my cousin. My aunt came over and brought my two girl cousins. Girl cousins were boring. They weren't as fun as the boy cousins, but it is what it is. And one had to go to the bathroom. Well, she went in there, did whatever she had to do, and guess what? The door came to life and held her prisoner. Oh yeah, she was prisoner for life. Eternity. That was her tomb. She screamed in terror, "Help, help, help!" We tried to tell her how to fix it, but she wouldn't do it because she was so screaming, "Help, help, 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 help!" Because the door had her. Well, my dad had to mount a rescue. Screwdriver in hand, he started to operate on the door. Well, this brought people from all over the house. And I dare bet people from outside came in to watch because it was something to see the extraction of this poor person stuck in this toilet. Well, she was got out. They had to put the door back on so that someone else could use the bathroom. people were properly taught. And you know what's kind of funny? There's a story about that door that I didn't know about. Do you know when I was really way little, my parents went to Logan and they got the babysitter. Now my brother and my older sister didn't like said babysitter, but the door loved her. So what happened was, this babysitter had to use the bathroom. I said bathroom, that was in a whisper. Dramatic effect. She went in and of course used the key wrongly, and the door went, oh my gosh. Of course the babysitter was freaking out. Evidently, from what I'm being told, I was little, I wouldn't know. But my brother and sister didn't like this babysitter too much, so they ignored her pleas for help. They didn't offer to tell her how to get out. This poor babysitter was stuck in this door until my parents came home. She was extradited. I hope I used that term right. And things went back to normal. But that was the door, and then there are many more coming from that thing, that damn door. Now we go back to other monsters at my house. Well, you go from that bathroom, there's a hallway. And the hallway went up, and there would be my sister's bedroom. And you go up further, but we'll talk about that in another story. But the hallway went to an opening that went into the kitchen. Now the kitchen was very narrow. On the south side was the cabinets, the sink. On the other side was the table pushed against the wall. And then the outside door to go to sudden doom. But that's not what I'm going to talk about this monster. The monster I want to talk about is the fridge. Oh my heavens, that fridge was evil. It bit. I was just a kid. I didn't know about the fridge, but I did know that you could push a chair over, stand on the chair, open the fridge. Up at the top was the freezer. Now in the freezer was cool stuff. Sometimes there was ice cream, sometimes there were popsicles. Well, heck, I didn't know. But there were these ice trays, really cool. My parents had these really cool ice trays. And if you pulled the handle up and it went, and all this stuff come out, called ice, by the way. Ice come out. Well, one of my sisters had shown me something really cool. If you put punch in it, guess what? You got a popsicle. Well, I was going for that popsicle that my sister had talked about. Oh, I was so excited. I reached in and I grabbed it and I pulled that ice tray out. Because the freezer, it was going, yeah, you come on, boy. And I was thinking, oh, that looks good. I'm going to lick it. I stuck. And the freezer laughed. The monster had me by the tongue. I pulled and I screamed and I yelled and it went come loose with a hole in my tongue. That's the one story. But a freezer and the fridge did strike before that. Let me revert back a few years. One fine evening, my parents decided to go to Logan. And they left everyone alone, my brother and my older sister. I don't know where my other one was, but it was just those two. My sister's doing the dishes. Wash your dishes, wash. Hands all wet. Brother yells from the other room, "Give me a glass of water!" Of course she's obedient. And what does she do? Okay. Grabs a cup, walks over to the fridge, opens it up. Ah, ice. Okay, now she's stuck. Yells for her brother. Help! The fridge has her. So what does she do? To pull it out, goes to push herself away. And now she's got both hands stuck in the freezer. She's really irate at the moment. Ice is. Really irate. Yelling for the brother to come help. Brother doesn't give a hoodoo. Eventually, brother does come in because sister is actually driving him nuts. He sees what's going on and goes, oh my goodness. He goes to try to help. Can't help. What do I do? Go to the neighbors. Well, the neighbors down on the other side. Now our property was, we were on the corner. Then there was a blacksmith shop. On the other side of the blacksmith shop with the family we'll call the Orchards. A name I'll give them because a story is yet to come. Now Mrs. Orchard was there. My brother brought her up. She walked up slowly because she had some problems. Very sweet lady. Came in to help my poor sister. Oh! She got some hot water, poured it on, and freed my sister. The fridge had lost the battle, but it was waiting for other victims. The other monster in my house, when you go to the end of the kitchen on the south side, was a wall and a door that went into the laundry room. Now the laundry room was pretty cool. Had this really cool dryer. My parents had the coolest dryer in the world. When it was done, it would sing, "How dry I am. How dry I am. How dry I am." I'm not going to sing it to you. But the thing that's the scary part was the monster in the basement. Now the monster in the basement, it was a deep basement, and the stairs were made of wood. We won't go any further with that. There are other stories for that. So that was the scary stuff of my life. Not counting the monster that was in the church across the street, or the other things that we'll relate to later. That's what was scary. Do you know the worst part was? That my family was trying to kill me. Well, yeah. They did try to kill me. Incident 1. Older sister. Young toddler me. She's playing with me and gets tired of playing with me and puts me up on the top of a windowsill without a window. 45 feet above the ground. I might exaggerate a little bit, but it doesn't matter. And decides it's not important to watch. I go. Fortunately, I landed on my head or I'd have got killed. That was incident 1. Incident number 2 was even worse. Do you remember the basement? Do you remember the wood staircase? The portal to hell? I fell down that with sister watching. Poof! They probably thought it was funny, and they were probably upset that I survived it. That was incident number 2. Incident number 3, the station wagon incident. Now, I've talked to my siblings many times about this, and they all don't remember it. Well, I do. It hurt. What had happened is I was young. I was always younger than them. I could never figure out why I couldn't catch up. They always got older, and I got younger. We had this old station wagon, and we were going somewhere. I don't know who was driving. Some maniac. And I was trying to get into that back station wagon. The door was down. Everybody was piled in. They were ready to go. I'm waiting for me. I was too slow. The little legs were going the best I can. I was trying to reach up, tried to grab on. I got up onto that thing. Someone told them to go, and they went. And I went, whoop, poof, on the pavement. Fortunately, again, I went on my head. I survived. But this story's more about incident number 4. Yes, incident number 4. The sister you haven't met yet. We will call her Genghis Kong, as in King Kong. Yes, Sister Genghis Kong. You never knew what you're going to get with Sister Genghis Kong. On this fine day, my parents decided to go to Logan. They were going to go shopping. They wouldn't be gone for long. And they put her in charge. Heaven help me. Well, here I am, playing in the kitchen. You remember the kitchen? Long kitchen. Cabinets on the side. Doors on this side. A doorway, and then 10,000-foot drop on the end to some concrete oasis of the car. They call it a driveway. I'm playing on my brand new Lambie scoot toy. I was scooting, and having a great time. Scooting. It was like I was a knight from the old times. On my steed, enjoying life. Genghis, you know the Kong, decided otherwise, that I was not having enough fun. Oh, I wasn't. Evidently, for some reason only known to Genghis Kong at the time, she decided to give it a mighty push. And I mean a mighty push. Here I am on my noble steed, unaware of what's going to happen, pointed in the wrong direction. And all of a sudden, I hit 9 G's. That's G-force for you guys. I held on with all my might in a death grip. My mighty steed did well. The wheels moved. Click, 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 click across the floor. I must have hit Mach 12. As I hit the threshold, it went a little steady bump. That mighty steed handled that so well. When we come to the end, now I find myself on that precipice that we call the porch. Into the mighty air I went. I sailed in a graceful pattern in the air at Mach 12. A death grip. You know, when you're that age and you start to go back in time and relive your life, it's pretty short. Anyway, I relived my life about 10 times before I hit the ground. It was so graceful how we flew through the air. Not so graceful when we hit. There was wheels, legs, arms, legs, wheels, pieces, plastic, everything, and then we'd come to a stop. I laid there, coming in and out of consciousness. Not sure if I was alive or dead. My brain said, do inventory. I went, okay, I must have lost an arm at least. Legs, 2. Knee, half gone. Bleeding, but okay. 2 arms, good. 1 arm still in a death grip on a unattached handle. My lamb! I looked to the left. What did I see? 2 wheels. Looked to my right, and I seen the slaughtered remains of a once noble creature, my lamb. It was more than I could handle. I laid there. Maybe I could make it up the stairs. Maybe I couldn't. Maybe I should die right here. That is when something happened. Now, let's go back in time a little bit. I watched a movie called The Wizard of Oz. It scared the heaven out of me. The Wicked Witch of the West. Genghis Khan had turned into the Wicked Witch of the West. He said, "You won't tell anyone of this or you'll die." I laid there with the shattered remains of my noble steed, thinking, oh great, a death threat. What am I gonna do? Come in the house! Clean up that blood! Sure. I can hide the multiple lacerations and bruises, not to mention the shattered remains of my noble steed out on the ground. Okay. I'm going to give Genghis Khan a little credit. When my parents came home, I was almost convinced. You know, she had them convinced that I had gone to the precipice of hell and jumped off in a suicidal pact as a lemming. The incident was written off as the accident. Oh, Genghis Khan. You know, I have to be honest with you though, there was a time she was actually nice. Oh, okay, there were multiple times. She might be watching, so I said, yeah, there are multiple times. You know, I'm going to tell you one incident. Living in Providence in those days, you know, when the sun comes down and settles behind the hills and the light becomes a little bit blue, you get that twilight. That brings on kids. Kids come out from everywhere. Well, there's something called the night game ritual that we had. Truces were made with certain things going on within the neighborhood. They were uneasy truces, but truces nonetheless. Now, in these truces, night games, certain games were played. Well, we played games like Red Rover, Red Light, Green Light, some of my favorites. Even Kick the Can was okay. But heaven help me, I hated tag. Tag was the worst game. Do you know why? Because I had short legs and everyone could run away from me and I could never catch no one. I was spending half the night running and chasing and running and chasing. They're all laughing over in this corner, over that corner, over this corner. Occasionally, Genghis Khan would turn into just Kong. If you watch the movie, Kong could be nice at times. And she'd let me catch her. Tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. And run. It's always one of those times I'm running. But up. Everybody's running around. And then it happened. I saw it. A free, floating, vaporous apparition. To borrow a phrase from Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters. No, I really did see something. It was dark. The crickets were singing to us. It was really pleasant. And it stopped. And I seen this thing before me. It was a head. Now you're going to say you watched the Wizard of Oz. You saw the head. Yeah, turkey. No, it wasn't the Wizard of Oz head. I don't know what it was, but it scared the heaven out of me. And you know the worst part of it is that thing was staring me in the eyes and I was staring at it. And I thought, I'm scared. This is frightening. Everybody's over there and I'm here. What do? I looked for the strongest character that could protect me, which was Kong. I ran to Kong. Genghis Khan would be the one person you would go to when you're most frightened of some monster. I ran to her, screaming my head. What? Monster floating around. Well, obviously the monster was scared, or the ghost, whatever it was, because they seen Genghis Khan, and they evaporated and went away. She turned around and said, "There's nothing there." Oh, between you and me, there was something there. It was scary. Oh my heavens, it was scary. So I ended the time. I went home to a nice lit kitchen and a lot of lights. I wanted lights. Oh yeah, that's the way things were. But you know, we need to talk a little bit about the truces and the battles in the neighborhood. But we'll save that for another time. Keep watching. Grandpa Dave here with a little bit of wisdom for you. You know, you spend a lot of time around the world and everybody wants to know what you've seen and what you know. I have people come to me all the time. They ring my doorbell, they call me all the time, paparazzi, everything. But you know, the one thing they always ask me is, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? And I sit and I think, you know, I'll tell you. Knowledge is knowing that tomatoes are not vegetables, they're fruit. Wisdom means you don't add tomatoes to your fruit salad. Talk to you again.